Space, the final frontier. Okay, you know the words to that little intro. So let's talk about Star Trek the Motion Picture, since I recently just celebrated the 55th anniversary of the debut of the Star Trek TV series. Not about the one that's sorry also. Here we go. Today's entertainment rankings and reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1979 sci-fi flick Star Trek the Motion Picture, released by Paramount, directed by Robert Wise, and of course based on the Star Trek TV series, created by Gene Roddenberry, who served as producer. The first installment of the film series and stars the cast of the original series. The film is set in the 2270s when a mysterious and immensely powerful alien cloud known as Vigor approaches Earth, destroying everything in its path, and Admiral Kirk assumes command of the recently refitted Starship Enterprise to lead on a mission to save the planet and determine this powerful alien cloud's origins. So, this film had been worked for some time, but soon it just got scrapped every time. Even when Star Trek, which only lasted 3 seasons on NBC, was still being run in syndication. And soon they finally got it. So here we go. In the 23rd century, a Starfleet monitoring station, Epsilon 9, detects an alien entity hidden in a massive cloud of energy moving through space toward Earth. The cloud easily destroys 3 of the Klingon Empire's new Katanga-class warships. When they fire on it and disintegrates Epsilon 9 when it tries to investigate. On Earth, the Starship Enterprise is undergoing a major refit. Its former commanding officer, James T. Kirk, has been promoted to Admiral and works in San Francisco as Chief of Starfleet Operations. Starfleet Command assigns Enterprise to intercept the cloud entity as the ship is the only one within range requiring its new systems to be tested in transit. Citing his experience, Kirk uses his authority to take command of the ship, angering Captain Willard Decker, who has been overseeing the refit as its new commanding officer. Testing of Enterprise's new systems goes poorly. 2 officers, including the ship's Vulcan science officer, Sonak, are killed by a malfunctioning transporter, and improperly calibrated engines nearly destroyed the ship. Kirk's unfamiliarity with the ship's new systems increases the tension between him and Decker, who has been temporarily demoted to first officer. Commander Spock arrives as a replacement science officer, explaining that while on his home world undergoing a ritual to purge himself of emotion, he felt a consciousness that he believes emanates from the cloud, making him unable to complete the ritual because his human have felt an emotional connection to it. The Enterprise intercepts the energy cloud and is attacked by an alien vessel within. A probe appears on the bridge, attacks Spock, and abducts the navigator, Ila. She is replaced by a robotic replica sent by the entity which calls itself Vigor to study the carbon life forms on the ship. Decker is distraught over the loss of Leia, sorry if I mispronounced it, with whom he had a romantic history. He becomes troubled as he attempts to extract information from the doppelganger, which has Ilya's memories and feelings buried inside. Spock takes an unauthorized spacewalk to the vessel's interior and attempts a telepathic mind meld with it. In doing so, he learns that the vessel is Vigor itself, a non-biological living machine. Wow. Now to the ending and final act. You know the procedure, like always. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, continue on. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. At the center of the massive ship, Vigor is revealed to be Voyager 6, a 20th century Earth space probe believed lost in a black hole. The damaged probe was found by an alien race of living machines that interpreted its programming as instructions to learn all that can be learned and return that information to its creator. The machines upgraded the probe to fulfill its mission, and on its journey, the probe gathered so much knowledge that it achieved sentience. Spock discovers that Vigor lacks the ability to give itself a purpose other than its original mission. Having learned why it could on its journey home, it finds its existence meaningless. Before transmitting all its information, Vigor insists that the creator come in person to finish the sequence. Everyone realizes humans are the creator. Decker offers himself to Vigor. He merges with the Ilya probe and Vigor, creating a new life form that disappears into space. With Earth saved, Kirk directs the Enterprise out to space for future missions. Excuse me, everyone. End of story. So, what did I think of Star Trek the Motion Picture? Well, I'm thinking it's pretty reasonable and all, and it's not too bad. It's not really the best Star Trek movie. Now, the sequels to this were much better. Well, most of them anyway, not all of them. Anyway, the film came out in December of '79. It received mixed reviews, many of which faulted it for a lack of action scenes and over reliance on special effects. That I can understand. Anyway, so anyway, the film still did okay, but didn't do as well as Paramount had hoped, as it went on to make 139 million worldwide, short of what the studio's expectations were, but enough for the studio to propose a less expensive sequel, which of course came out 3 years later in 1982 in the form of The Wrath of Khan. Now, in 2001, the director of the film oversaw a director's cut for a special DVD release of the film with remastered audio, tie-in and added scenes, and new computer-generated effects. I never knew there was a director's cut, I don't think, but, well, that might be pretty cool, though. Anyway, now, of course, most of the cast you know from the TV series is here, which include William Shatner as Kirk, Leonard Nimoy as Spock, DeForest Kelley as Dr. McCoy, James Doohan as Scott, who a year before this was in the first season of the Saturday morning series JSF Star Command, but he dropped out for the second season to do this. Walter Koenig as Chekhov, Nichelle Nichols as Uhura, and George Takei as Sulu. Also on board is Persis Kambata as Ilya, and Stephen Collins as Decker. They also had Majel Barrett as Nurse Chapel, well, now a doctor now, and several others. Anyway, the cast wasn't too bad, though. I mean, well, excuse me, everyone. I just feel like it could just use a little spin polish with the action, what have you. But the cast wasn't too bad. Now another good thing, but the cast was the one of the things I did like about this movie. But it did have a good score for the film. That one of my favorite composers, the late great Jerry Goldsmith. Yes. And to my surprise, when I finally took the time to watch this movie, I think it was last year, and it was on Tubi, or no, wait, maybe it was Amazon Prime. And I found out that its theme was actually the theme music to what would be used for the theme to the second, well, actually not the second, the third overall Star Trek television series, which was The Next Generation. That was incredible. But nevertheless, Goldsmith's score for the movie was really good. I mean, like I said, this film still could have just used a little spin polish on the story and what have you. But overall, it's still an okay, good movie, though. So, overall, would I recommend Star Trek the Motion Picture? I'd say give it a one time watch. And if you're hooked on this, bring on the other flicks. But if not, then just, well, leave it alone and just go to the sequels. Like I said, most of the sequels are a little better than this, and they were much more bigger successes than this. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. So, what are your thoughts on Star Trek the Motion Picture? You can tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, you may want to check out some of these other videos that I've done for sci-fi and what have you. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Star Wars from '77, which I still say is that franchise is even better than Star Trek. But you don't have to take my word for it. In the upper right-hand corner is my review of a film that actually Star Trek the Motion Picture beat out when it opened, and that was the original Superman, which came out the previous year originally. And the bottom, or go to the bottom left hand corner for the TV log of the original Star Trek series. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.